My name's Derek Tiller and I co-manage Pinery grain growers here with my brother Clinton. We crop 3,500 hectares of predominantly wheat and lentils with other crop types available like feed and malt barley, canola, faba beans and chickpeas. We also work with our parents, John and Christine, and we're located here at Pinery in South Australia. We like to stay non-brand specific. We don't have any loyalty to any brand. We'd like to pick the best machine that's available at the time for increased efficiencies to maximise our expansion potential with the labour that we've got available to us. So as part of that non-brand specific option that we've taken, we like the retrofit idea of the AgLeader technology into our machines. They fit anything, they work as good as anything, and it's really working for us. So we're using Integra screens and 1200 AgLeader screens. We use the one in the AgriFac sprayer to use OptiRx sensors for bulk density mapping and also product control. We're at the moment sharing a unit between a seeding tractor and a harvester that don't operate at the same time of the year, which is good efficiencies, and we're utilising the other tractor screen in the Massey Ferguson for spreading and coverage map use for rolling and other things like that. So we're at the moment trialling for AgLeader a product that uses display cast, which uses a hotspot on your phone to upload yield data into the cloud, and then same goes for the chaser bin operator. He can hotspot his phone to download that data to their display in that tractor. Then you can see live images of yield map on that display in that chaser bin tractor. That helps with understanding what parts of the paddock are performing well as you're going through that. We're all making decisions about agronomy here, so it's good to have everyone seeing what's happening out in the field all the time. I guess the yield maps are fairly across the board with most farmers, but probably being underutilised at the moment. We need to cross-reference that with a lot of other things, and that's why the OptiRx sensors have been put on the sprayer to make that a simple job with a very accurate map. It's not an extra job. You can just switch it on when you start spraying. That can overlay a yield map, and you get to understand yield correlation with the bulk density of that crop. We can identify problem areas, but not just identify those problem areas, you can quantify it and realise what part and how much of that paddock is affected by whatever the problem could be, and then revisit that with more specific testing of soils or crop. We've got along really well with the helpline and direct contact with the service technicians at AgLeader, being able to help us through with the product support. They can talk us through it. Even the PC version, their SMS software and Agfinity program have been really good, and they'll be able to help us one-on-one with learning how to use those programs. I suppose as far as collecting data of this sort in our NDVI bulk density maps and our yield maps, we're building a case file for each field very specific to the areas within the field, so that anything that comes up in the future that we want to make decisions based on, we've got that database of decision-making tools right there to fall back on to see if there's a steady decline of certain soil types within that paddock or an increase in that paddock, and treat them accordingly. And maybe increase the efficiencies and lower our cost of production because of that.